So we commonly get asked what our custom fat loss program really is. We want to help people get back to a place of balance and health in their body. We realize that their body is created for health and not for sickness. So our purpose is to help in that specific situation identify what factor or factors are preventing that body from being in that ideal state of health. And that's a big, monumental expectation to accomplish. But the beautiful thing to me is that we're not really squarely putting that on our shoulders or on your shoulders as a patient, because we realize that your body's made for that health. It's built inside with that perfect state of health. It's just a matter of allowing that to exist. And so when we're always looking at the body, we're always looking at it through that lens of why isn't that health being experienced? Why aren't you experiencing the level of health that you're made to? And so when you realize that, it takes a lot of pressure off you, and it also helps you shift the way that you put expectations on the things that you're looking to provide that. Does a medication make sense? Is a surgery the best route? What does it really mean to do something naturally? Because that's a huge open-ended conversation. So when we're looking at the body, we use our testing. Our purpose is to be intelligent, not to guess with your health. So we want to find out from the beginning where the areas of weakness are. Why has your body done what it's done? Because there is a reason. And when you have that, you can feel a lot more comfortable knowing that there's a pathway to success, there's a pathway to health. And in most cases, we're always talking about a Band-Aid as opposed to actually letting the body get back to where it's supposed to be. So that's why we do things differently, and that's really the heart of what our custom fat loss approach is, all inside of the ultimate goal for us is to help you be at an ideal weight, but realizing that we always talk about weight as a symptom. And so we are never forcing your body to lose weight. Our goal is to help you get back to a balance, and we realize that weight and weight loss, and specifically losing the right kind of weight as we say it, is going to be a natural positive side effect.
My name is Jake. I have been a part of this company for a little over 2 years now. I came out of a biosurgical background. I had a great job in the hospitals. I loved doing what I did because it was always, every day was an adventure. You're always helping people. You're making a difference in the world. And I wanted to carry that over into this business. Dr. Matt had a great vision for people, for making a difference, for how can we make what's out there better? How can we make an industry standard and step it up? So everybody has tried some type of weight loss program, or everyone has been through some type of fitness, but what can we do to separate ourselves and make ourselves on every level different than the rest of the people out there that do what we do? And I believe customizing it was the answer. Customizing and making people feel valued. So every time somebody comes through our door, our purpose is, no matter what's going on, that somebody comes through and they feel welcome, they feel acknowledged. There's a difference when somebody comes in somewhere and they're just a number. We want people to feel like they're coming in and they're part of us, and we're going to help you through. And weight loss and fitness is a struggle. I mean, people struggle, and oftentimes it's outside of their control. We have come up with a solution that allows people to be real, to embrace what's going forward with their bodies, and allow us to help reset them on an individual level, give them the accountability they need, help them become the person that they really want to be. And there's a lot of places out there that will try to do what we do, but they fail, or they give you that temporary moment of I lost my weight, but 30 days later, they gain it back, or even 3 months later. People go to surgery. I mean, I was in those surgeries. I know what it looks like. And 9 times out of 10, people are gaining that weight back, and they're miserable. And we found an answer. We found a solution that works. It works long term, and it's making a difference in people's lives. So that's why I'm excited to be a part of it. Who doesn't want to be a part of something that helps others?
One of the most common questions I'm asked, and I think a lot of our staff are asked, is what's wrong with me? why can't I lose weight? I've done it all, I've tried it all, I've used every program, and people are not kidding when they say it. You listening right now can probably say, yeah, I've done half a dozen things, whether they're formal programs or just getting into the gym or whatever it is for you, but people are always wondering, and you're probably wondering too, why am I not getting anywhere? Oftentimes, literally anywhere in terms of moving the scale and being successful. And I think it's really critical. It's one of the first conversations I have with just about every patient is helping you to understand that there is a reason why you have not been able to lose weight. And on the flip side, there's a reason why you're finding yourself where you are with this weight challenge. And it's critical for you to understand that it's not your fault. That might sound like an easy thing to say, but step back with me and think about it. You probably know someone who seems to be able to eat whatever they want, exercise a ton or not exercise at all, and they have no problem losing weight or maintaining their weight, right? They're the person who can put away a pizza where you look at that pizza and you feel like you gained 2 pounds. And so when you step back and you say, what's the difference? You have to be able to say, there's something there. It's not as simple as genetics. That's a cop-out, right? We all have essentially the same genes, and genes are simply a blueprint. They're like a roadmap. I can give you a map to get from here to there, but there's a million different ways to do it. You can do it very efficiently. You can take 500 side roads and get lost, and your genes are really the same way. So when you can throw that out the window and say, what is the difference between me and this person we're talking about? Because I bet that if you look back, you know someone who's exactly this, a friend, a loved one, a neighbor, a relative, whoever it is. And so what most people settle in on, and they say, well, it's got to be their metabolism. Their metabolism is whatever, is better, is stronger, is again, genetically more favorable. Realize that, when you look at it this way, your metabolism is not one thing. It's a buzzword that a lot of people throw out without any qualification. They just say, this is the newest and best metabolism boosting supplement, or we have the metabolic answer, or, but again, there's nothing that backs that up. So when you really step back and say, what is your metabolism? It's not one thing. So it's not really realistic to jump in there with just a generic treatment or supplement or exercise protocol and say, we're going to boost your metabolism, because you're boosting nothing. Because your metabolism, or a working metabolism, is a byproduct of your body being in a state of balance. There are many organs, thyroid, specifically a lot of people focus in on when we talk about metabolism, but you can have a perfectly functioning thyroid and still have an issue with weight, or you could have a weight problem and have a massively sluggish thyroid. But again, it's always about why in your body specifically. And that's why we take a different approach when we're looking at your body. It's not a one-size-fits-all. It's not an exercise protocol. It's not a diet, and it's certainly not injecting your body with hormones or some kind of synthetic, stimulant booster, whatever. There are a million different ways out there that are somewhat scary, let's face it. So when we look at your body, we're looking at it through that lens and with that understanding that there's a reason. It's not something that you have necessarily been complicit in creating. And that's important to realize, because there are so many challenges today that none of us even think about, in terms of the toxins in our food, in our air, in our water, the hormone mimicking things in our foods, the way that things are passed down heritably, not genetically, but physically inherited, that can cause this kind of landslide that we're seeing, with one generation being so much sicker, so much quicker than the last. It's a reason why I think when you look back, even 50, 60, 70 years, when I talked to my grandparents, it was unusual to see someone who was struggling with their weight, to the point that sometimes these people were really treated incredibly poorly because it was looked at like it was just laziness, when, again, today, we know that's 100% not the case. It's always something in the body that needs to be identified, needs to be addressed. And that's exactly why we do what we do in terms of evaluating your body, finding out what those reasons, or the reason is, and doing everything that we can to move your body away from that challenge, getting you back into a place where your body is as balanced as possible. And that's why we see the results that we've seen.
I'm Steven, I'm 27 years old, and I actually did this program before working here, and that started in March of 2017. It was actually the day of my birthday that I came in for my very first initial consultation. I thought I'd treat myself to it. And what really led me here was I'm actually in the Army Reserves here in Rochester. And it got to a point where I wasn't really fitting in my uniform anymore, but I was doing all the necessary steps to fit in it. So I was exercising, I was dieting. It got to a point where, like I said, I wasn't fitting anymore, and I was so desperate to find something to just help me. So I was just listening to it on the radio, and I was like, you know what? I'll just come in and kind of see what it's about. So I scheduled a meeting, like I said, on my birthday. Came in, met with the initial consultation specialist, did everything, and I was a little skeptical at first just because it sounded too good to be true. But once they talked the whole program down, it kind of made sense. And right then and there, I was like, yep, I need to do this. I have to do this. So signed up, did my scan, started the very next day. And then I started at 222 for weight. And then at the end of the program, I was at 183. So I dropped down 39 pounds in those 40 days, which just blows my mind. So after that, my uniform actually was too big, which was kind of a good problem to have. So after that, actually in my very last follow-up, which was my goal setting phase, so figuring out how to go from there, I actually saw online there was a position open up for this office to work here. And I was 100% on board with what this office does and the program and everything, that I wanted to be a part of it. So right there, I applied for it, and thankfully I got a position here. And it is just amazing being able to help other patients through the program that I just went through. So, and it is, if I had any skepticism about it even afterwards, I would not have wanted to get a job here. But like I said, I am so on board with what is done here, and it is just amazing that I wanted to be a part of it.
We're talking to Sue, who lost 50 pounds through the custom fat loss program. She is thrilled with her healthiness and the way she looks.
Hi, Sue.
Hi.
You look great.
Thank you.
I know you're excited, and it's got to be such a great feeling
It's amazing.
to lose weight and do it the right way. What's the journey been like for you?
For me, this was the correct way. Like, I've done many diets. This is not a diet. This has been, I started out the end of October at 217, and I'm now at 166. And I'm at my goal weight, and it's been amazing. The food that I eat, I know I'm eating healthy.
People sometimes hear the custom fat loss, oh, that's probably just like the other programs, but you just said this is nothing like anything you've ever done.
Like it. And I know with this program that I can keep doing this. I know that this is not a diet, this is a lifestyle. And I know that I can continue.
How much of a struggle has this been for you, your weight?
When I was young, before I had my son, I was always very, very thin. And then in my adult life, I struggled all the time with weight. So I was up and down, up and down. I would lose 50 pounds, I would gain it back. I've struggled. I've been on medications that I no longer take. I've struggled most of my adult life.
Custom fat loss says you can lose between 20 and 40 pounds a month, which sounds like a lot, but it happens.
I had lost 30 when I finished the program, and I continued and lost 20 more. Today I'm at 50, so I want to maintain now, which I know I can with what I'm doing.
And you hit 50 pounds today.
Today.
What does that feel like?
It was so exciting to realize that I hit it today, and I would be talking to you. It's just been an amazing journey. I'm healthier. I don't have grandchildren, but my son's getting married in August, and I will have grandchildren, and I want to be here, and I know what I've done throughout this program, that I am going to be healthy.
And I know that's the most important to you, is being healthy. It's not just looking good.
It's not just the weight. absolutely I needed to lose the weight, but it's feeling better. I'm definitely, oh my goodness, I can do so much more now. Exercising, whatever, I feel like I just feel better. I'm healthier all the way around.
I want people to know that whether you've done everything under the sun for weight loss and nutrition and fitness, that there are things that are outside of your control. I mean, you cannot just run and exercise and eat perfect, because we have people that come through our door every day that say, I do all these things and I'm still overweight. What is the problem here? We give you answers customized to your body. And you know what? We're more than just a weight loss. We're here to help people feel better about themselves, to build and evoke confidence in people. We want people to walk out our doors with a new take on life. Like, you know what? I spent the last X amount of years of my life being unhappy, being, no confidence. I've not been able to chase my kids around. I come home from my job and all I want to do is lay on the couch. I'm miserable. I don't want to go out with my friends. And then I get to see these people that come back on that day 65, they come in and they're so excited. People that don't tell anybody I'm doing this program. I don't want my name on the wall. And then on day 65, they're like, I'm going to tell everybody, let's get my after picture. Let's put this on Facebook. I'll do a testimony. Like, that's the kind of stuff you can't make up. True success in a person where they feel better than they've ever felt, where they finally have confidence that they never had, where they have knowledge instead of just handed a book and a bunch of pills and here's a program to follow. No, we are personal. We want to help you every step of the way. And even after you leave, you're always welcome to come back. We're here for you.
So why our program, I would say, is definitely different than anything that people have done in the past is they will realize from the very start, I mean, just coming and meeting with somebody one-on-one to talk about what's your experience, it's customized per person. It is not just customized in the very beginning for the consult, it's customized for what we put into the program, the foundations, and then every single step throughout the program is customized. So coming in, seeing your coach each week, making adjustments based off of different scans that we do. So it's not just somebody's opinion on what your weight should be. It's actually technology giving us, hey, this is your body fat, this is your visceral fat, this is your hydration, these are the numbers we want to see change, and this is how we're going to make it happen. We get into how does your body absorb water, how does your metabolism thrive, the different aspects of what goes into just a healthy body, which ultimately is why people feel so good at the end. It's not even just the weight loss, it's a lot of other things inside of the body. So not always about the scale going down. There's a lot to it.
We're talking with Dave, who lost 45 pounds on the custom fat loss system. He hopes to lose more and feels healthy. In fact, he may be able to go off of his blood pressure medications.
I want to start at the point where we were talking before, because I know you got emotional about this, and it is emotional.
Yes.
When something changes your life.
Yes.
And it did change your life.
It changed my life. It really changed my life. And one of the things that, I mean, I am an emotional person, but one of the things that I want to live long. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And I'm sure that, I knew that when I bent down and I was trying to tie my shoe and I couldn't breathe, and I had to get up and I had to, I knew that I was pre-diabetic, I was on blood pressure meds, I was on cholesterol meds, and all that, my body was wearing down. And my first grandchild was born last year. And I could not live the rest of my life the way I was living. I couldn't eat when I was stressed. I had to stop that. I had to find something that would help me to lose the weight I needed to lose. I had to get a mindset change for the rest of my life. And this is what custom fat loss did for me. It's a total mindset change to the point that I don't care about eating a dessert. My granddaughter just celebrated her first birthday, and we just made this gorgeous castle cake for her. And it was strawberry cake, and it was, other stuff. And I didn't care to even have a piece. Now, I couldn't have a piece because I was still on the program, but there was no desire. There was no desire to have that. And that's what really encourages me about the program and about custom fat loss, because the mindset change is, like I was saying before, a teamwork thing. My coach helped me have that mindset change. My wife helped me have that mindset change. But I had a purpose in my own heart and in my own living that I was going to have this mindset change, and it's really true. And I am thankful, very, very thankful.
What was it that got you to come in here? Did you hear a commercial? Did you see something? How did you find out about it?
Well, I will be honest with you. My son's best friend was on the program, and I watched him lose his weight, and I watched him enjoy the food that he was eating. He kept talking about the program and sharing it with me, and he actually joined the team here at one point. He's not here anymore, but he actually joined the team here, and he became my coach when I first started. And it was really him and my son and my daughter. At Christmas time, she presented to me things to put on my mirror that and just encouraged me and said, these are there to help you, to lose. And so it was the encouragement of people, basically, and watching people that got me to say, okay, I'm going to do this.
We're here with Matt. He lost 45 pounds on the custom fat loss program and hopes to keep up the weight loss. Not only does he look better, he's wearing smaller clothes, but he also feels better and he's healthier.
And looking at you, you look like you've always been this size.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Obviously it must have been an all-over weight loss.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a complete. It's funny. Most of my relatives and coworkers, they're like, "You're melting." It's literally my entire. It just shed it all right off. So.
When did you reach the point where you said, I got to do something?
It was a long day at work, stressful day, and so I got a large pizza, bring it home. I ate the whole thing, one sitting, and fell asleep on the couch. Woke up middle of the night, and the very next morning, I was like, never again. I'm done. It was just one of those, like a switch flipped. I can't do this anymore. So.
Did you feel unhealthy?
I had a physical earlier last year, and the doctor was very straightforward. He said, you can continue to do what you're doing, and you'll be insulin dependent at some point because you're showing signs of prediabetes. And he's like, many people manage that throughout their life. It's not fun. It's definitely not healthy. I would recommend you lose weight, exercise, do all those normal things. And, I would always make up an excuse. So I'm going to start tomorrow, or I don't feel that bad. I'm sure I'm going to be okay, or I have the whole rest of my life to balance this all out. And, the big thing for me was, I'll just start tomorrow. One foot in front of the other type thing.
And when did tomorrow finally come?
Oh, that was, after that episode, and, I found, I just low energy, brain fog. After I get done eating lunch, I get back to work and I just want to take a nap. And
you're a young guy.
Yeah, I'm 36. And then, 10 years ago, I looked like this. I was, healthy and active and things like that. So that's what I wanted to get back to that.
What got you to come in here?
To be honest, it was the radio. Driving back and forth from work every day. I'm listening to sports radio or some other channels, and the advertisements were constantly running. So. For me, I did a little bit of research. Some other people in my office had done the program and had success. So I thought, what's to lose?
And I know you mentioned before cost was not even an issue for you.
Yeah, cost. So that was the big thing for me going into it was, how do you put a price tag on your health? Being healthy is better in the long run for yourself, for everybody around you. It's so how do you put a price tag on that? Especially if it means you can potentially live longer, have a more active lifestyle, be happier, just be the best version of yourself. Can you really put a price tag on that? What is that worth to you?
So I was an athlete, and then I turned 30. And then I had a baby at the same time, and things started to add on in areas that I didn't want it to. And I come from my family is a larger family as well, so I could see myself, my tendencies going towards that way. And at the same time, I was struggling with some pain from arthritis. And I had heard about the program, and I was a little reluctant at first because you hear of all these diet plans and they're not successful, or they lose it and then they gain it all back. So I was, you know, a little reluctant at first, but then I knew some people that had great success on it, and I started inquiring about it, and they had kept the weight off for several years. So there was one morning in the midst of me investigating that I couldn't get out of bed. I was in so much pain, and it scared me. And I thought, I can't continue to live my life this way, and I've gained so much weight. I've got to do something about it. So it was at that time I went in and did my little interview, and I was convinced this was the program for me, and I started right away. And I just recently finished, and my next step is really just to maintain. It's been a great educational process to learning, you know, which foods are my trigger foods, and just a lifestyle change, knowing that, you know, I could still eat those cupcakes and cookies if I wanted to, but I know what the end result is going to be: pain in bed, not being able to move. Now, as being educated through the program, losing the weight, I can eat maybe one cookie every so often, and then being educated enough to know now I need to eat clean the next few days to make up for, you know, maybe the little indulgence that I had. So my goal right now is just to maintain where I'm at. I'm comfortable with where I'm at. I look and I feel good, so this is where I want to stay. When I told people I was going to do the program, they all told me I was crazy. They told me it was going to be just like any other diet program, and yeah, I might lose the weight, but I was going to put it right back on. They told me that they wouldn't pay that kind of money to go through the program. But after talking to people who had success, and for years success afterwards, we're not just talking 2-3 months, I had to do it. I had to take that chance. And for anybody who's maybe on the fence or a little skeptical, the program works. It's amazing. You won't be hungry. I wasn't hungry during the program. The support system is phenomenal. They're there pretty much 24/7. Whenever you need to speak to somebody, there's somebody to talk to. You get coached through the entire way. And just, you're gonna lose the weight, but the health value that you'll get out of just losing that weight, I can't even explain it. I couldn't function before. I couldn't move. I was in a lot of pain. The pain is non-existent. It's gone. All my blood work coming back from the doctors has been phenomenal, like just spot on, perfect, right where it needs to be. So what I tell people is, if you're skeptical or you don't want to spend the money, you're going to spend that kind of money on your potato chips, your cookies, your ice cream, and like some obscene amount of doctor bills. I don't have to go to the doctor anymore. In fact, before the program, I had a cyst on my foot. Had been there for like 4 or 5 years. The doctor told me not to do anything about it if it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt, so I didn't do anything. I went on this program and it went away. It's gone. No surgery, no pills, no creams, no nothing. I did the program, the cyst is gone. I did the program, my arthritis pain is gone. There's no medication that I take for it, nothing. So it's worth the investment, it's worth the time, and it's worth just that short period of time in your life to shed the weight and be healthy.
It was probably 3 or 4 years ago. I heard about it, so I went and I got the information about my heart and my age, metabolic age was like 90, and I showed it all to my husband, and he said, "We can't afford not to do this. I need you to be here. And so that's how I got started, and lost, over the course of the program, lost 23 pounds. And that was okay. And I went and continued to lose about 15 pounds after I left them. The help that they have been to me has been outstanding. Very supportive, very like, you need to come in right away, and they put you in right away. And they are cheerleaders. Jake, every time I see him, looking good, you're looking good. So, you know, that helps, it's a motivator. The person that I dealt with said, you can do this. Now, I'm trying to lose weight again, I mean more weight, I should say. My daughter's getting married in the spring, and I said that was my goal, is to lose another 20 pounds before then. So she said, you can do this, and she gave me all the pointers and told me what I needed to be careful of, you know, get away from the naughty carbs and that kind of thing. So it motivated me beyond the point where it was, before that I was just trying to do it on my own, trying to go back and reread the materials, thinking that piece of pie really looks good, and saying, oh well, who cares, it's only another little bit, you know, a little bit of calories, a little bit of carbs. But gradually it was getting, the good habits were being put to the side. So with that encouragement, I was able to get back on track. It's been better for my husband and I both. He's a diabetic, and so lessening those carbs and increasing the good fats has been a real benefit for both of us. He's been able to keep off insulin, which was his goal, and I have reduced my medication as well. So I feel like it's been a good thing for our whole family. It may be a little expensive, yes, it was, but it was totally worth it because I feel so much better. The weight is coming off and staying off, which is, like I was telling Dr. Matt, that's a miracle. I've been on diets before, you take the weight off and then you start to get back into bad habits and you think, well, I'm done with this diet, and the weight comes back on plus 5 pounds. And so you're in worse shape than you were before. This has been a miracle that I have been able to keep this weight off for 1.5 years and still going down, little by little, but that's okay because it's steady, but it'll stay put. I will stay consistently lower until I reach my goal.
My name is Danette Mitchell-Perez. I heard about Dr. Matt's custom weight loss program from a neighbor, a friend, and she had success with it. She kept the weight off. So then I heard it from another friend, and it was pretty easy. You made an appointment. I knew what to expect in the consultation. They got right to the point. You know, this is where you are with your weight and your overall health, and here's some of the goals that you can work to achieve, and here's how our program works. They pretty much did it in a quick summary, and I really wanted to do it right after the first consultation. I have tried Weight Watchers. I tried losing the weight myself. I'm currently in the second phase, but in the first phase, I saw weight drop immediately. You know, I wasn't sure about the pace. I didn't know how fast, so I had to keep asking my coach. And then when I was finally confirmed that it was like 0.5 pound a day, that was the expectation, I had not seen any weight loss, not even 2 pounds when I was on Weight Watchers or trying to do everything myself. So I saw immediate results. I was guaranteed 20 pounds. I thought I was stalling out, like plateauing when I got close to the 20 pounds, but then my coach helped me get back on track. I never gained a pound while I was losing. I never gained anything back. So I was extremely happy with the results. I think the whole being accountable on a daily basis, that was the kicker for me. You know, having to text in my weight, and knowing that if things weren't going right, that I would be able to talk to somebody to get back on track. I feel great. I didn't know if I should attribute it to the supplements or to the alkaline water or whatever I was doing that was totally different, but I had more energy in the last 40 days than I've had like probably the whole 2 years. So, yep. I have been boasting about the program, and I said, yes, it is an investment, but you give up a vacation, a mini vacation, just to do this within 6 months. It's worth it. It's worth every penny. If you've tried doing this on your own and you don't see the results, it's because you're doing some kind of a short-term quick fix, where this, I think this is an ongoing lifestyle for me. I'm not starving, so that's another big thing. I never was starving, ever, during the whole time. I'm a soccer mom, and my daughter's 15, and I had her later in life, and I'm around a bunch of 30-ish soccer moms, so I always felt very matronly and just dowdy, and now I feel more youthful when I'm around these people. And in general, I think on the horizon for me, I'd like to, like I said, I want to continue to lose weight and tone up. And I don't have any immediate big plans right now, but I think as the months go by, I'm planning on going back to school, and I just feel better about myself.
Thanks for staying with us. This is Custom Health Solutions with Dr. Matt on News Radio WHAM 1180.
Just a little logistical note. Joe is planning on kind of our typical format where we usually have the guest on with us for about 12 or 15 minutes. We'll kind of do it in the opposite order, so we'll probably talk with Jerry first.
Hi, pal.
Hey, how are
Nice to see you. You must be Jerry.
How you doing? I'm Joe. I'm Joe.
We got it.
All right.
Thanks for staying with us. This is Custom Health Solutions with Dr. Matt on News Radio WHAM 1180 with Dr. Matt Boheen, and it's Story Time, Dr. Matt. And this week we're doing something that I don't think we have ever done before. Our guest today is actually sitting in the room with us.
See?
And I can't believe it. So who have we brought this week? Who are you going to introduce us to?
Well, it's a double treat, right? Because we have Jerry in the studio with us, and we have Jerry back on the show for the first time, ready to talk about celebrating a pretty cool milestone.
As of Saturday morning, I am now down 101 pounds.
Oh, amazing, Jerry.
Really?
That is fantastic. Now, when you started the program, you were at what weight?
311.
311 down to, I'm not good at math, 210.
210.
Down at 210. And it's the support, it's the knowledge, it's everything that goes together that makes the custom fat loss system so remarkable, and what provides for such long-term success. That's where the long-term success comes in. It's that support and the education. Those are the two real keys that allow people to say, I can make great decisions on my own, whether I'm in a core program or not.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not a whole lot different than saying, all right, I need to get from point A to point B, and on the one hand, you could say, well, there's a forest and a river and whatever else you want to create in between, or here's a paved roadway. You're driving the car on through either one of those scenarios. You still have to step on the gas. You're still steering your respective vehicle, but wow, a lot different to just run down a highway as opposed to having to blaze the trail, right?
Yes.
And that's really how our program differs. It's about setting you up for, as we say, setting you up for success, right?
Now this is a very healthy 210. I have to say I had my regular doctor's appointment 2 weeks ago. I am off all my medications.
Wow.
Blood pressure, nothing. I am a healthy person.
If you want to write a story like Jerry's, well, actually, it's not going to be like Jerry's. It's going to be like yours. You're going to write your own custom fat loss story. You can do it with Dr. Matt Boheen and his team. They are in Greece and in Webster, 8444 Thin Me at loseweightrochester.com and the Custom Fat Loss System on Facebook. Thanks for bringing Jerry in. It was nice. We talked to so many people on the program every week. We meet a new patient, we hear another success story, but I don't get a chance to meet very many of them, and it was great to see Jerry in person. You know, we talk about how people smile more, you know, when they get that new body, when they get that new feeling, when they've come through their custom fat loss journey, they come out the other side. And for Jerry, it seems his results I think were more remarkable than he could have ever possibly imagined.
Yeah, he said it, right? I mean, he said when he was beginning, in just January of this year, he's had no idea, had no thought that he'd be talking about being, you know, almost, over 100 pounds down now, 6 months-ish later. It's just amazing. You know, talking about, oh, I lost that weight on the program, and then guess what? I was able to keep losing, or I've been able to keep that off for.
Right.
Those are the conversations that are really valuable.
Because they know the why. There's so much about the sort of the conventional approach to weight loss that never focuses or wants to focus on the why.
Lots of our patients, you know, they're the foodies I've ever met, you know, and they still talk about enjoying. Actually, we've had people that say they enjoy food and the taste of food and the smell of food more than ever because, to your point, so many of us today don't realize we're living life, you know, looking through a dirty window, right? And again, you don't know how dirty that is until you go and look through a clean window. And that's a lot of us, you know, physically, physiologically, it's just amazing.
When you clean that window off and you start to see what the view can really be like, then you kind of get greedy for it in a way. You kind of get greedy for it. You know what? I felt great today. I want to feel like this every single day.
Yeah, it's good to feel good. And, you know, one of the things that I think, you know, tangibly that a lot of our patients grab a hold of the most in terms of the testing is one of the very first things that we do, which is our body composition analysis. And we don't have a lot of time to talk about it today, but that metabolic age on that scan is such an interesting piece because it puts a number to something that a lot of us, you know, never even have heard of, metabolic age. What does that mean? But more often than not, when people come in and they see that number and they say, wow, that's how I feel right now. And then fast forward to talk about how that changes, it's pretty neat.